Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to do my sort of a quick review here, get this out of the way so I can put it in the trade pile or sell pile, whatever. My trade pile for when I go out of town at the end of the month. And that is the Blu-ray for Stoker Hills. Got this from my friend. He didn't care for it enough to keep it. This is from Screen Media. I'd seen this talked about amongst people on YouTube, so I had some interest, and had Tony Todd in it, which I figured he probably wasn't going to be in it for a lot of the movie, which he wasn't. But this is the story of three friends, or you could say a couple and the third wheel friend. And they are college students, and they're doing a film project for their class, which is the class that Tony Todd teaches, which is where he comes into play. And uh, they end up getting attacked. The girl gets kidnapped, and the other two guys get attacked, and basically they have to track down the killer by the end of the movie. Now, the first quarter of this movie was really bad. It okay back there? Yeah. All right. It was sort of like a found footage style, and but it was very shaky cam. A lot of the picture was going in and out of focus. There was times where you didn't even see anybody. It was just like darkness, or it was, I guess, more they were holding the camera down and not actually shooting anything. So I didn't care for that. That was really taking me out of the first quarter of the movie. And I thought, if this doesn't change, I can't finish this movie. Thankfully, it does stop the whole found footage style. And once they're once they're kidnapped, or what happens to them, and because what it's doing, it's jumping from found footage style to the police station, because the police that's supposed to be watching the tape, and we're seeing the tape as it's playing. But it does that for about a quarter of the film, then it stops, and when it stops and we actually get to them tracking down the killer and trying to save the students that are left from this killer, it actually got decently interesting. I thought the acting was good. It had me somewhat zoned into it, watching it. It didn't have my 100% full attention because it didn't grab me in the beginning, but it did somewhat get me towards the middle there. But then you get this sort of a big climactic, this big ending, and then the best way to describe it is we get sort of twilighted at the end. And what I mean by that is, if you've not seen Twilight by now, basically at the end of the whole last film, Breaking Dawn Part 2, the big battle scene ends up being nothing but a vision, or whatever you want to call it, that she gives the lead, the Vulture leader, to show what the future was going to hold if they started this battle, and to basically tell them they don't want to start nothing with them. So the whole big battle scene was just one big letdown, and it kind of, and for me, it would have watching it. It would have ruined the entire franchise for me. I would probably never want to watch it again, knowing that was going to be my ending that I would get. And that's what this movie does. It After you get the big finale, you get the killer getting killed and other people getting killed, and it cuts back to the college, and it like pans out, and it shows that this whole time you've been watching the student film that they made, and everything you just watched was complete BS. It was just what they made for their class project, and because it shows all of them sitting together in the at the desk, and Tony Todd standing up and like clapping, and everybody, all the kids clapping, and they loved the movie, all this, and I'm just like, what? Like, are you serious right now? Did they really just Twilight me on this one? And so the movie is just a big bunch of BS. There's nothing. There's no reason for me to ever watch this again. That whole ending just ruined the rest of the movie. Like the ending, the first of it, I could have still watched it and just kind of make it through the first quarter, you know. But because of that ending and making this whole film basically just, in my opinion, pointless, uh, it just ruined the whole movie for me, and it's something that I will never watch again because I hate that kind of an that kind of an ending. Um, so
But if they don't mind that kind of an ending, it probably won't bother them.
yeah, if you don't mind that kind of an ending, it definitely won't bother you, like she said. Now I will say the Blu-ray is full frame. It's not widescreen for whatever reason. They didn't make they didn't make this a widescreen movie. They made it full frame, which might be why it's full frame with what it's supposed to be, since it's supposed to be basically us watching a college student's project film. That might be why it's full frame. I can understand. I could see that them doing that. Um, but yeah, it was a very big letdown. I really thought after we got through that first quarter, I really thought we was getting somewhere. I thought, okay, this is something I could maybe watch again, and it just did not work out. It was just a complete letdown. If I was to give this a rating, I would give this a 2 out of 5. Just because I did like the middle part. I thought the acting was decent. Um, it had some decently good gore in it, but just not what I was hoping for by the end of it. So, unfortunately, this will be going into the trade pile for the end of the month when I go out of town. I'll be turning that in. So, but that is everything for my review for Stoker Hills. So please come like and subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for our videos, and we'll see you all in the next one.